You know that sometimes in salons there can be drama, but do you know what is the most common drama for the salon owner to experience? Well, check out today's show to find out how you can beat the drama.
Salon owners are some of the most amazing people on planet Earth. The only problem is sometimes their hearts are so big and they give so much of themselves to their staff and guests that it creates unintended consequences. Our goal is to change the industry by elevating the way the rest of the world sees salons, spas, and barbershops and give it the credibility that it truly deserves. This is the Salon Owner Evo Revo Show.
Welcome to today's Evo Revo Show. I'm really excited about today because I think that one of the biggest killers inside of a salon of energy, momentum, and really anything you could possibly do is the salon owner drama. And what I mean by that is the drama that gets created in and around the salon owner, whether it's self-created or created by the team. And I heard this phrase a long time ago that just said, business would be easy if it just didn't involve people, right? If it was just me dealing with myself, sure, it'd be super easy, but we wouldn't be able to grow. I wouldn't be able to build a profit. I wouldn't be able to build an asset, and that creates a huge problem. So with me on the show today, on the Evo Revo Show, is actually one of our mentors from the High Performance Salon Academy, Lindsay Lowe. What's up, Lindsay? How are you?
Hey, good to see you.
What's up? Thanks for joining me on the show today. Lindsay Lowe runs an amazing salon called Platinum & Company out in Manhattan, Kansas, and has been a mentor with us now inside the High Performance Salon Academy for an entire year. You've been mentoring with us for a year, right?
Yes, it's been an awesome year.
Yeah, and so you have been growing inside the academy, and you've got a lot of run. But just so we get some framework, so people kind of know. And by the way, what's up, Madison? Good to see you. Glad to have you on the podcast today. Thanks for joining us, Lindsay. Just so people get an idea about kind of like your background. How long have you had your salon? How long has it been there? And I know that you've got a partner with you. Like, tell me a little bit more about your salon and how many staff you have, just so people get an idea.
Yeah, so we're here in lovely Manhattan, Kansas, and we have about 19 people on our team right now. And really, we've just grown so much over the last several years with the help of you all at High Performance that it's just been incredible, you know, just all the small things that we've done that have made a huge impact on our business. So,
yeah, massive. And I know you guys run at a really strong profit margin. You've grown a lot and done some incredible things inside the business. And I think for so many salon owners, what I want you to catch is that, you know, no matter what size your salon is, the opportunity for you to make the money that you want to have and create the lifestyle that you want really has to do with, again, how do you kind of eliminate that drama? So Lindsay, you deal with a lot of people that come into the academy to come in and go, look, they throw their hands up in the air and they go, look, I'm stuck. Or like, what do you hear people say? Like, I've heard in the past when I used to do a lot of these coaching sessions, like, I'm stuck. I feel like I've hit a plateau. I'm so frustrated. What are the things that you hear from people who come into the academy?
yeah, I mean, definitely a lot of those same things, you know, just drama that, you know, teammates unknowingly bring in to the environment every day that can sabotage so much growth. A lot of people are like, how come, you know, we're bringing in all this money? How come we aren't able to take a profit home? Those are two of the biggest things that I hear a lot on calls that kind of stop people from getting to that next level that they're trying to get to and growing the team and having the environment that they want to create.
Yeah, I hear salons all the time. They're like, I just can't find good staff, you know, in our tiny town, in whatever, you know, insert small town here, right? In our tiny town, there's nowhere to find good talent. Nobody wants to work hard anymore. By the way, if you've heard of any of this drama in your world, or you've said this drama out of your mouth, would you do me a favor and comment with the word drama? I want to know if you've got at least one of these pieces of drama. And so, Lindsay, what are some of the things that you would say when you coach salons, when they come in, what are some of the things that you foundationally do for them to start, you know, like strategically peeling back some of this drama and getting to it? Talk to me about that process a little bit.
Yeah,
what are some of the things you do?
Yeah. So one of the biggest things that is a game changer right off the bat is implementing a code of honor. And a code of honor is designed to help everybody be able to show up as the best version of themselves. And so it's not like the owners are like, hey, this is the list of rules that we're going to follow. And if you guys can't follow them, you're out. It's more like, hey, if we were able to show up as the best versions of ourselves, what would our salon look like? What would our daily life look like? How would we support each other? And you address things like dress code and how are we on time and all of that good stuff, so that you just really have clear agreements with everybody. I find that clear agreements are the biggest miscommunication in any salon, whether it comes, from pay or, dress code, or what time do we show up for work, or when do we leave, or how do we call in, stuff like that. When there's unclear agreements with your teammates, that's where drama is born and created and just, festers and grows. So
yeah, well said. So hot tip number one from Lindsay is clear up the agreements. And again, we teach inside the High Performance Salon Academy, how do you build a code of honor? Because it's one thing to say, cool, I got a set of rules. And it, like you said, it's been dictated by the salon owner. Follow these or else. Like I heard a salon owner, and again, the most loving person ever yesterday. She's like, can we create a code of honor for our guests to say, if you're not on time, we can fire you, And I was like, well, look, let's start with like, how do we back this up? It's not just about like enforcing rules on people. Because I said, well, are you going to sit down with your guests and have them build a code of honor? Because this isn't about trying to enforce rules upon people. It's about creating rules together inside the salon with your staff that they agree to, not that they're forced into. Yeah.
Yeah. And, really that just creates the environment for fun. So when you have those clear agreements with each other, then you're able to go in and relax a lot more, because if for some reason somebody, doesn't show up as the best version of themselves, like you just get to help remind each other of like who you want to be and help support each other so that you can be there to have fun. You spend so much time at work that let's make it as fun as possible. And if we have these clear agreements to start with, then we can just rock it out and have a good time while we're there.
Yeah, I like that. I would like to make sure that I show up as the best version of myself every single day. By the way, if you want to show up as the best version of yourself, would you guys type in the chat, best version? Because I'd love to know if that's how you want not only yourself to show up, but everybody else. And by the way, that's accountable to the owner also. Okay, so we talked about code of honor. What would be another hot tip, Lindsay? Something that a lot of people are missing inside their salons that creates some drama and chaos.
Yeah, just a clear understanding of your money. So I think that...
What? Money's important to run a salon? I had no idea.
I know, it's weird.
But why? Okay, like as a salon owner yourself, why do you think most salon owners don't have a clear understanding of their money? What's that hiccup in your mind?
I think our little voice stops us a lot. Like, we're creative people. We do hair. We don't do numbers. But, in order to, it's just like setting the stage with your code of honor. Like, if you don't know where your money's like leaving or how it's coming in, then you can't influence any part of it. And you don't have a stable environment for everybody. And, people want to work for a salon owner for the stability and for the future casting of, their vision and what they stand behind. And so making it a super secure environment just really helps everybody. Plus, like if you're not making any money, then you can't pass that on to anybody else. And so
they say
foundational thing is important.
Yeah, they say, Lindsay, like most arguments in spouse relationships have to do with money, right? And so if you want to know how much drama can be created in a salon, like think about that. And I've been that business owner, right? Where like, the bank account's running a little dry and I got to figure out how I'm going to like, dip into my savings account or like take money out of my personal bank account to like cover the bills when you have a weird month or something like that. And think about how much stress and pressure and instability that creates for the business owner. And then they put that pressure directly on their team. They stress them out. And so the other thing, Lindsay, we've talked about is like sometimes even just as the staff, and you were on a call with all of our mentors inside our High Performance Salon Academy last week, and that was one of the big things that everybody said is they said, look, Jason, we've stabilized our income as owners and we're really happy about it. And then we started talking about how do we address finances with our staff. So in your mind, Lindsay, why would that be such an important thing to get your staff to pay attention to finances as well?
Oh, that's huge. Just because, that's one of your key foundational things for security as a human. Right. You talk a lot about like your personal energy audit where, there's like physical, emotional, all of those different areas. But finances is one of those areas too. And if people's finances are chaotic outside of the salon, they bring that into the salon with them every day. And, if they're not able to take that responsibility for themselves, it's easy for them to put it on the owner and blame you, when really it's just that they aren't educated and in some way, they're missing a piece that you could help deliver to them that would give them that financial security, and they could kind of earn more money to meet their needs, or, just move some money around so that they were feeling more secure.
Yeah, I love it. And by the way, we got to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about what are the most common pieces of drama inside a salon. And Lynn's got a couple of hot tips for you. If your salon is still closed, maybe you're in Canada, maybe you're in some other areas, and you're still dealing with some closures, we're going to give you a couple of hot tips to make sure that you can come back from being closed to the best version of yourself possible. We'll be back in about 45 seconds. All right, so speaking of profit, right, we were with Lindsay Lowe here, one of the mentors inside the High Performance Salon Academy, and we were talking about profit. We were talking about code of honor, and I just want to mention today's podcast is brought to you by Salon Scale, allowing you to charge by what you know, not by what you feel. And Lindsay, we advise a lot of clients, almost every single one of our clients, to get into Salon Scale. The only reason why we wouldn't recommend it is you're not ready for it yet. And we would check with you and figure that out. But for Salon Scale, because you've had some pretty awesome results with Salon Scale, right, Lindsay?
Yes. That, changed our profitability this past year when so many salons weren't making any profit at all or were losing money. When we implemented Salon Scale, that switched things around for us instantly, and helped us be able to still take home a profit at the, every quarter, which was amazing. So,
yeah.
Game changer
Super
for
good.
Sure.
So, yeah, if you haven't checked out Salon Scale, please check them out. And we, again, big fans of what they do. They've helped our salons inside our academy on average make between $25,000 and $75,000 in new profit. In fact, we just had a salon in the academy say they made $129,000 in new profit last year, courtesy of our friends at Salon Scale. So you might want to check them out if you're not familiar. Highly recommend them. So Lindsay, let's talk about some other things that create drama inside a salon. What would you say are some other areas? You mentioned profit. You mentioned not having clear agreements. What's some other drama that exists inside a salon?
Just really not having a time to-do list as an owner. You can't then focus on the future. So if you're not planning out areas that you're wanting to impact and change, then that can make you become stagnant and kind of create some drama in your salon, just because you want to create an environment that people want to work for so that we can really change the industry. And that's why most people choose to come and work for a high performance salon, is because they have a vision bigger than themselves. And so having a clear plan and a clear direction and a clear mission so that you're able to help not only your teammates, but the people that you serve and your communities, and just those ripple effects. So having kind of a clear plan that you work on throughout the week that will take your salon company to the next level, that helps prevent drama, because then nobody's sitting around looking at problems. They're wanting to help create a better future.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned this right before we started, right? We were just talking about this, is that there's so many salon owners that have so many things on their to-do list, right? They have this like never-ending to-do list. And you probably heard me or somebody else say this: most people over-plan a day and under-plan a year. And so the problem is that all of a sudden you've got this mountainous amount of tasks. And you mentioned this is one of the concepts that Doug Campbell, the other founder of High Performance Salon Academy, has talked about, is this time to-do list. So how do you help people with the time to-do list? Because they do have thousands of things. And if you've got a lot on your plate, do me a favor and say a lot in the chat. What do you do when you take that salon owner on, Lindsay, that's like, I got this and that, and you're just giving me more stuff to do, Lindsay. I got on the phone with you, I got all these great ideas. Cool, thanks. And it just is more overwhelming for them.
Yes. Well, one of the first things is, and you talk about this a lot, is like the Superman theory. Like, can Superman go shopping? Yes. Can Superman go to the post office? Yes. Okay. Can Superman save the world? Yes. So what should Superman do? He should save the world, because not everybody can do that. So just really getting clear in like what your superpowers are and what your team needs you to show up to do, and do more of that. And those other things, passing them off to qualified people on your team who want to help elevate your team is huge. But then, setting start and stop times for every task you want to do, so that you can focus every week on what it is. Like, so if you want to implement some new front desk systems, okay, on Monday I'm going to schedule it from 10 to 11, and I'm going to stop at 11 as a hard stop and get started on whatever my next task is. So that
I think that hard stop, Lindsay, like that's the money, right? Is like just knowing, and we have a rule in our office that says 80% has got to be good enough. Like, I'd love to be at 100%, but sometimes you're like, I got an hour to get this done. Whatever is done in an hour, that's my new front desk system. And I think so many salon owners are like, well, I don't know how long it's going to take, so I'm going to block out an hour. And if I don't get it done in an hour, then I'll add another hour, and then I'll block out another hour. And so they end up putting it off and not doing it, or turning out some, half-finished project that doesn't really accomplish their goal. Instead of what you just said, super critical. And by the way, if that was helpful, guys, throw some exclamation marks down in the chat process here, or high five your radio if you're driving the car. By the way, somebody told me, not to be like a squirrel moment, but Lindsay, somebody just sent me a text of them driving down the car. They texted me a picture of them listening to it while they were driving the car. I know I say sometimes comment below, but you can just give me like a hell yeah while you're driving your car. Honk the horn, do something. I don't care. Whatever you got to do. People will think you're crazy, but the best people will know that you're just serious about your business. So just side note, if you're listening to us while you're driving down the street. But yeah, that makes such a big difference, right? Put that boundary and put that time window in place and say, I'm just going to get it done. And at least you've got version 1, right? And I had a friend of mine, Justin Teo, said this. I just love this phrase. Version done is better than version none.
Absolutely.
So good, right? Because there's so many people that get hung up in like, I need to get the right version of this done, and it's got to be perfect. And I don't know any salon owners that ever want to look perfect in every day of their life, that have their makeup done right and their hair. Nobody would ever do that in the salon industry, right?
Nope.
Nobody's obsessed with perfection there.
Yes,
That's
and that really is a huge thing, that there's so many perfectionists in our industry that we're like, we don't put anything out because that perfection does just stop us from doing it, but in order to be a market leader, you do have to get it out when it's 80% done. And, to stay on top of your game, just trying new things. If your integrity is correct and your heart's in the right place, everything will fall into place, and people will feel that you want to make a positive change, and they'll be excited for you.
So what if your hands are tied? This is great stuff, Lindsay. Super good, super helpful. What if people's hands are tied? They can't go to work, right? Like a lot of salons, like we coach salons all over North America. We even have some salons in the UK and in Australia. But like some people are still closed, Lindsay, and we have people in our academy that are still trying to figure that out. What are some of the things you did when you were closed? What are you advising people to do if they're still closed? And let us know if your salon's still closed. We'll give you a shout out and some support and give you some advice. But what would you advise people to do?
Yeah, I mean, the first thing to do is get busy with a time to do schedule. It's just important to schedule a little bit of time off during this time too, so that you aren't just looping in your thoughts, worried about things. But every day schedule, 30 minutes that, okay, I'm at this 30 minutes, I'm going to try to earn income. And the best way to do that is to give. So give tutorials, give product knowledge, give somebody a quick style that they can do at home, and then lead them to your website of where they can purchase this, or let them know how they can purchase this from you. Give back to your community. There's so many great things, like Lindsay Haney helped launch Eat Drink Shop for so many places during the first shutdown. Huge, giving back to your community in some way, letting people know about some things that they have going on, so that you kind of become the source for everybody of love and light right now, because so many people don't have hope if you are shut down. So you
just said something that I really hope people get, is that when you're closed, and I kind of heard this in this way, Lindsay, is that when you're closed and you've kind of messed up the schedule, you know what I mean? Like it's not your normal schedule. You've got to refocus that time and schedule it appropriately. So you go, okay, here's my income generating time, which I'm going to use to produce videos or create content or work with my Chamber of Commerce or like do something productive. Even if you're like, I can't do hair, what the hell's productive? Use that time to be productive. But you also said schedule downtime during that also. So you don't just like wake up, freak out, do a bunch of quote productive things and then go to bed and do it all over again. Is you've got to schedule a flow and create that schedule, block out the things that you want to do, and actually use that time wisely. I think that's really good, because if you do that well, and again, so many of our salons opened back up and made more money when they opened because they were productive with the time when they were closed. I heard so many people giving advice like, oh, you know, hairdressers never get time off, so just take this time and relax and just sit around and wait for everything to happen. I was like, oh God, no. Your competitors will get ahead of you. Like those are the salons that are going to close, right? Is if they don't spend that time very, very wisely. You've been given a gift of time. What do you do with that time right now in order to create that? And by the way, if you're open, consider that a huge gift, and use that exact same concept that Lindsay just said, is make sure that with whatever free time you have, which Lindsay, as a salon owner, you know, is so much free time, right? With all that free time that you have, make sure that you block out that time to say, if I do have 2 hours of work of office time or something like that, or 4 hours a week of office time, how are you going to use that 4 hours, right? What are you going to do? Lindsay, if you had, like, how many office hours do you try and schedule in a given week? Because I know you fortunately, thank you to whoever put off their PDM today, because I know you were able to move a PDM to be here. So shout out to whoever you had to move. But what do you do with your office hour time during the week? And then I think that'll be a great place to wrap.
Yeah. So lots of different things, you know, just catch up with my finances, check in with Profit First, see how that's doing, show up big for my team, you know, find ways to support them. That's another great thing to do if you're shut down, is to schedule time to show up big for your team and for your community. I also spend some time on looking at ways that I can help in my community during my office hours, and just working on one thing all the time that, you know, you want to take to the next level, whether it's your front desk or your associate program, just finding a way to show up big, and then making sure you're doing your PDMs regularly so that you are checking in on everybody's financial health, their emotional health, like what's working really well for them, what's not working really well for them, so that you can help support them and they can grow into an even more amazing version of themselves.
Love it. And again, you focus on that, you focus on your growth, you focus on the salon's growth, and you focus on your staff's growth, and you will forever be a growing salon. I know it seems simple, and all these things that we talked about today are simple in concept, not easy in execution. So I want you to know, for any of you guys that want help, you would love to have somebody like Lindsay in your court that you can talk with, brainstorm ideas with, and make sure that you're getting focused. Do me a favor and comment with the word help, and we'd love to see if one of our team can support you, help you to grow. We have tons of free resources. We obviously have tons of resources that you can come out to and check out some of our destination trainings or live events and all that stuff. But comment with the word help, and we'll see what support tools, either free or not, we can provide you with. Speaking of, one last free support tool I will give you. If you want to take a quick salon assessment and find out how well your salon is doing, head over to highperformancesalon.com/quiz for just a quick 5-10 minute quiz that'll let you know exactly how your salon is doing and what areas you need to improve upon. Lindsay, thank you so much for being here on today's podcast. Pleasure having you. I'll have to have you back on soon, because it was just a wealth of information. And thanks for making the concession in your day to be here. I hope you guys enjoyed the show and have a great rest of your day. Bye for now, guys.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to the Evo Revo podcast. If you liked today's episode, please subscribe, leave us a review, and you can always get more information, including show notes and the video episodes, at evorevopodcast.com.